Greetings from the White House, where after a visit here tomorrow from the President of Mexico, President Biden will kick off a three-day visit to the Middle East with stops in Israel, the West Bank, and Saudi Arabia. The trip occurs as the president has faced some criticism for allegedly abandoning his human rights concerns with the kingdom to seek Riyadh's assistance with oil production and record-high gasoline prices here at home. As president, it is my job to keep our country strong and secure, the president wrote in a Washington Post op-ed this weekend. We have to counter Russia's aggression, put ourselves in the best possible position to outcompete China, and work for greater stability in a consequential region of the world. To do these things, we have to engage directly with countries that can impact those outcomes, he continued. Saudi Arabia is one of them. And when I meet with Saudi leaders on Friday, my aim will be to strengthen a strategic partnership going forward that's based on mutual interests and responsibilities while also holding true to fundamental American values, unquote. This will be the president's first trip to the Middle East since he took office last year. His comment during the 2020 campaign that Saudi Arabia is a pariah state, offered partly in response to the Saudi state-sanctioned killing of Washington Post columnist Jamal Khashoggi, haunts the president to this day. His national security advisor refused to say whether the president will be photographed shaking hands with the kingdom's de facto ruler, Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, identified by U.S. intelligence as having authorized the murder.
Human rights are a strategic interest of the United States. So is energy security. So is stopping terrorism. So is seeking peace in a place like Yemen. So we are trying to do multiple things all at once, advance along a number of different tracks. One of those tracks is, in fact, ending the blank check policy. And as I said before, the basic thrust and purpose of our policy with respect to Saudi Arabia has been to recalibrate the relationship, but not rupture it.
Sullivan also disclosed that the U.S. has intelligence indicating that Iran is preparing to supply drones to Russia for its use in Ukraine. That disclosure occurs as Russian forces have made slow but steady progress, costly to both sides, capturing territory in the eastern part of the country. I asked the National Security Advisor if Ukraine is now losing the war against Russia.
Just coming back to the question, James, that you asked earlier on Ukraine, Russia has already substantially failed to achieve its strategic objectives in Ukraine. Its strategic objective was to take Kyiv, the capital, to end Ukraine as a country, to eliminate Ukrainian identity from the map, and to subsume Ukraine to within Russia. They have failed at that. Kyiv stands, Kharkiv stands, Odessa stands. The major cities of Ukraine across much of the country are in Ukrainian hands and are being ably and bravely defended by the Ukrainian military with the support of the United States and other NATO allies, as well as countries around the world.
I also asked Jake Sullivan if the U.S. intelligence community still believes that Russian President Vladimir Putin is receiving sanitized assessments of the battle in Ukraine from his own advisors, something that Sullivan and other U.S. administration officials had asserted early on in the war. Sullivan said he had no update to that intelligence but would endeavor to provide one. Reporting from the White House, James Rosen.